Well, hello everybody and happy Saturday. It's Saturday, February 3rd. Can you believe it's February already? I just cannot believe January's gone. It's going to be Christmas right around the corner. It's crazy. Crazy how fast time is going now. So welcome everybody. I think most of you guys are still asleep. And I know some of you guys forgot I was going to be on here at 10 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock. So, let me straighten my screen here. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see if I'm straight yet. That's better. How's everybody doing this morning? Are you guys sleepy like me? I had to set my alarm for 8 o'clock to get up and eat some breakfast and get ready so that I would be ready by 10 o'clock. It's kind of early in the morning for me on a Saturday, but I have some great cards for you today. We're making 4 cards. These two and these two, they're a little bit different from each other. And we're going to be doing the split front card technique. And I've seen a bunch of videos from different people on how to make these cards. And most of them were really complicated, so I decided to make them really easy. And see, you know, the math teacher in me comes out sometimes, and I just think these are too complicated for me, and I was a math teacher. If I got to do all this work, I'm not going to want to make these cards. So I look at them and I think, how can I make this easier? Now everybody's coming on. Hey, everybody. And so this way is super easy. There's no measuring. There's no nothing. And you can make them more difficult if you want to. Just by like raising the outer 2 pieces, if you want to put that up on dimensionals, or if you want to put the sliver of like a strip of something else under this, you know, like if you have a strip under this part to make it look like it's a different layer, you can do that, which is what a lot of people did. But I just did the easiest way possible. If you want to make it more difficult, that is up to you. But these cards I whipped out in so less time. It was really, really easy. So I made 4 instead of 2 because we're going to get through these really fast. The hardest part of everything was making that bow right there. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Hopefully I can do it twice. Because it's an easy bow, but I bought these tweezers and I can't find them. I don't know where I put them. I bought those tweezers that are like reverse tweezers, you know, to hold stuff. And I'm sure they're on my desk somewhere under the pile of stuff I have sitting here. But I couldn't find them, so I had to try something else. So we're going to be doing these 2 papers from the Celebration. Both of these are from Celebration. This is Softly Stippled, and this paper is gorgeous. And I hope these are not sold out yet. I keep waiting to see if they're going to sell out. But I haven't seen anything sell out yet, so I'm hoping they're still available. I just got some the other day. So I'm hoping it's going to last for a while. So we're using that paper, and we're using the Flight and Airy paper, which is the birds. And this is probably the #1 seller, so I'm really surprised this has not sold out yet. But it's got so much gorgeous paper in here. And I love this piece that you can cut the birds out of. And then they've got the birds all in different things. So you've got some with little tiny birds in the tree and some with bigger birds, like this one. And the backs are really pretty too. And then you've got them all scattered out. And I love the back of this one. And then these are kind of all little teeny birds all together. And that pink color goes really well. Like these 2 would have been a really pretty one to do instead of this one. I could have done those 2 together. I hate using this piece except to cut out those birds. All right, so I've already used a lot of that paper in there. That's like 2 different packs. But I've used like half the paper from it. So we're going to be doing these 2 first and then these 2. Before we get started, I wanted to show you... Oh, let me say hello to everybody. Now that we got a lot of people on here. And don't forget to do thumbs up if you're watching. And also, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm only 50 people away from 16,000. So I want to try and hit that this weekend. So, hey Cindy, hey Robin, hey Donna, hey Julie, hey Vicky, hey Deborah, hey Annie, hey another Deborah, hey Margaret, hey Diane, hey Sharon, hey Gail, hey Reva, hey Cindy, hey, oh, Margaret said hi to you. Hey Carol, hey Linda, hey Mary. I'm not sure who Nair is, Nair 2010. Becky, Virginia, Belinda, Rita, Therese, Carol Ann, Becky, Audrey, Patricia, Ursula, Nedra, Laura, Sandra. Hello, 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 everybody. Somebody said I sound like the lady from Romper Room when I say hello to everybody. Hey, Terry. Oh, a bunch of people just popped on. Okay, hello to everybody else who I missed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here this morning with me. Right now we've got 76 people watching, so hello to everybody. And we're going to be making 4 cards, which I'm going to show you if you just popped on. This is the card kit for right now through the 15th. If you use the host code and you order at least $50, you'll get this set of supplies to make the cards. And if your order is over 100 or 100 or more, you'll also get a pack of gems. I've got a bunch to choose from. I'm just going to throw in a random pack for you. Also, it's Celebration, so for every $50 you order, you get a free item from the Celebration catalog. And the ones we're using today are both in here. So we've got the bird paper, which is free, and the Softly Stippled paper, which is free. And I love both of these papers. They're my favorite things in there. So lots of good stuff. And then if your order is over 100, you'll get 2 items or one of the bigger ones. And they just added a bunch of new things, although they're not really new. They're from the catalog. So you can get a bunch of free stuff from the catalog too. I didn't print that out because I'm running low on ink on my printer. So you can just go on the Stampin' Up website and click on Celebration. It'll show you all the free stuff. So Patricia says Romper Room, that's dating us. I was actually on Romper Room. I don't know if I told you that before, but my friend's mom was Miss Connie, who was our local Romper Room person. So I was on there a few times. And then also, if your order is about $100, you might want to think about getting the starter kit with the free glass mat kit or an extra $30 free product. And I want to stress this. All right, if your order is over $300 or $300 or more, you get an extra $30 in free host rewards. So I had 2 people order just under $300 yesterday. So one was $298 and one was like $276. And I feel like maybe they were looking at the total instead of the subtotal because it's before shipping and tax. So I felt so bad because if you order $298, you get like $30 free. If you order $300, you get $66 free. So it's $36 more if you hit that 300. So, because at 300 you get 36, but if you're at 299, you're only getting $30. So it's a humongous extra free stuff. Plus you get that extra celebration item. Because every $50, you want to make sure you do $50 increments. And I felt so bad for both of those people. So I love getting orders that big, but just make sure you're looking at the subtotal of your order, not the total. So the subtotal has to be 300. Or if you want the smaller host benefits, it's at 150. But it's before shipping and tax. So make sure you're checking that when you do that, so you don't miss out on all that extra free stuff. All right, so there's all that. I've got some cards at the end and a joke. So we got lots of stuff to do at the end. Let's see. Oh, y'all are just talking to each other. Thank you, Ruth. Hey, Debbie, thanks for joining us. Let me see. Where are you at? Oh, you're talking to each other. I love it when you guys talk to each other. When you say, oh, I'm from wherever, North Carolina. Oh, where in North Carolina are you from? And you guys like meet each other. That's what happened with my girl, Spice Girl, who passed away. She met some great friends in Arizona. So if you see somebody from your state on here, yes, hook up with each other and, you know, get somebody to stamp with. That's awesome. All right, so we're going to start with these two. Whoops. I just messed up my sheet. Okay, so these are the first two that we're making. So here's what you need. I got my pajamas on. You can probably tell. So you need 2 pieces of Calypso Coral, 5.5 by 8.5. We're doing 2 cards at a time because it makes 2 cards at a time. So 2 pieces of that. You need 4 pieces of white, 2 for the inside, 2 for the front. 2 pieces of the designer paper. And then I've got these circles and strips. And I don't have anywhere to put these. Okay, 2 of the Calypso, 2 of the white, 2 of these strips. And here's the measurements for those. So take a screenshot of that. Hopefully it's all in the camera. There we go. All right, take a screenshot of that and then we'll get started. Oh, we got Florida. I want to retire to South Carolina. Anybody on here from South Carolina? I want to move to South Carolina so bad, but I have to retire first because I need health insurance. I got to wait till I'm 65. All right, hopefully you got a screenshot of that. I think I'm going to save that sticker. I use that one all the time. I go through Post-it notes like water. All right, so we're going to save this for a minute and save those. So we're just going to start with the designer paper. All right, so here's what you do. So you take 2 pieces of designer paper that go together. So it doesn't matter what pack you pick. Any pack will work. Just pick 2 pieces that are kind of coordinating. And then you get your paper cutter. And here's where everybody else just had all these measurements and templates and all these different things. And I'm like, that's just too much work. And then I always lose the template. So what you're going to do first, if you look at the sample, so you want to go down about 3/4 to about a little less than an inch here. So an inch is about your first knuckle. So that's about an inch right there. So if you can kind of remember that, so you want to go down about a knuckle from there, and you want to go about halfway on the other side. So you're going to go to from the left side to the right side for your first cut. So we're going to stack those together. You have to do them together, and hopefully you can see this paper cutter in here. All right, so we're going to go from right here to right here. So I'm going to put that in, make sure they're together. So I'm just going down a little bit, not quite an inch, and then down to about halfway. So kind of just look at it and say, okay, that looks good. But you got to make sure these are together. All right, maybe a little bit more this way. Okay, and then cut. All right, that's your first cut right there. And then you're going to take this one, and you want this to just be a little teeny bit, like 1/4 of an inch right there. So you're going to do that. Then you're going to go to the bottom corner. So about a little less than an inch here to right there. So we're going to go on here, put it about right there. And you want to just on this bottom. So now we're going from the left side to the bottom, about right there. It doesn't have to be exact. As long as both of your papers are exactly the same, you're good. All right, there's our cutting. No measuring, no nothing. So I've got my 2 pieces here. So this is how we cut, like that. And I've got my morning nasaliness. Nasaliness. All right, so we did left to right. So about 3/4 of an inch to half of the way down. Then we went a little bit farther down to the bottom and cut again. So there's our 2 cuts like that. Then we're going to mix these up. So we're going to take this one out. We're going to leave these 2. So now we have, whoops, wrong one. There we have our 2 cards. So now there's our 2 cards. Boom and boom. Our 2 card fronts. Ta-da! Isn't that easy? Okay, so then we're just going to glue these together. How easy was that? You're going, oh, wow, that's so much easier than I thought it was. So we're going to put that on a piece of white, exactly the same size. We're going to glue that down. So here we go. And I wouldn't flip them over until you're gluing each piece, because I flipped all mine over and then I had a nice pattern on one and I glued the wrong one. So just flip each piece as you go. Make sure it's lined up to the edge, because I cut the white paper exactly the same size. Now here's where, if you wanted to, you could put this on dimensionals and this on dimensionals, or you could put a piece of, like say you had a strip. I don't think I have one with me, but let me look. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's say you had the strip. You could put the strip like this underneath that. So then when you had that on here, well, that's not going to go there. You have to trim that off right there. But you would have that piece right there. Just trim that off. And you'd have that little layer. Cut that off too, and that off. And then you'd have a layer underneath there to separate this part. Whoops. Now my finger's all sticky. I'll show you what I mean. Hold on. I'll put this down first. And these just butt up right next to each other. Okay, so here, let's say you wanted to do that. You would just go right to the edge there, like that. Put that down. And you can put it over top of it, like that. So if you wanted that edge on there like that, you could do that. And then just trim this, trim that when you flip the card over. And then you'd have that edge right there. Which, if you want to do that, we can. Let me do that real quick and I'll show you on the other card. So I'm just going to cut right down the middle here. It doesn't have to be straight. So if you went like that and trimmed that here, I'm going to do it on this one. So you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this one we're just going to keep straight. I don't want to confuse you too much. Okay, so these just butt up all together. Uh-oh. Oh. I just went crooked with that. Oh, I dried too fast. Okay. Here we go. We're just going to trim off that little teeny piece right here. And trim off this right here. All right, so there we go. So there's one card front done. So that's going to go on one of these. And we could trim off that little white part. If I put my glasses on. I just got a white edge there, so it's just a sliver too big. Okay, there we go. All right, so then that goes on here. See, that's where I didn't push it over far enough before it dried. Oh well. You can't talk and chew gum at the same time while you're stamping sometimes. All right, there we go. And then for the inside, we're just going to put one of these strips here, like that on the bottom. And there you go. And then put that inside. So I had yesterday off. It was such a nice day. I stayed in my pajamas all day, which I'm going to do again today. I did take a shower last night, so I'm not stinky, but I got all the stamping done. I was so excited. All right, so we're gonna set that aside for a minute and then do this one. So this one, if you wanna put those edges on here like this, and you don't have to, this is just an extra thing. So put that down just like that, and then we're gonna trim it. So I'm just gonna put a teeny bit of glue on this edge so you can see what it looks like. Make sure you got the straight edge and not the one that you cut by hand. So you just want a teeny bit of edge there, like 1/8 of an inch. And then we're just gonna cut that. So cut it right here. Cut it right here. And then when you glue it down to your, oops, you know what I should have done? It should have gone up higher, but my piece is too short. Let me see if that's gonna work. Yeah. That goes in the corner. This will go on top. I should have had a bigger piece, but it'll be all right. All right, so if we're gonna have to glue that one down first. So let's just not glue this edge down. So we can tuck it under. Okay, there we go. So my strip was just a teeny bit too short. It should go past that edge, but that's all right. It'll blend in well with this piece. All right, and then put this one down, just tuck it right under. But it's got to match up with the corners. So it's got to match up with this corner and, oops, with that corner. So there we go. This glue is drying faster on me today. All right, and then if you want to do this piece here like that, this one will leave longer, so it'll work better because it should go off the edge. Then you can get that edge like that. All right, so let me put the glue right on this edge. Put that here. So if you leave it longer, it'll look better. And then put that down. Oops, let me trim it. Let me trim it. See, this is more difficult. Oh, I forgot to put glue on this thing. Put glue under here. Ding dong. See, when I go away from what I'm planning on doing, then I mess up. So don't do that. Now I got glue on my thing. All right, then trim this. So this just makes more work, but I like the other way better. It's easier. All right, but there you go. So you get that edge in there like that. So that's only if you want to do that and you want to have some more work for yourself. But if not, you'll get it like that one. Well, this one or this one. Wait a minute, this one. So that's without the extra strips, and that's with the strips. So either way, they're both pretty. Okay, so now we've got to glue this down to the front. And make our inside so we're just going to put a little strip here, and if you want to stamp, you can stamp. I just kind of did this card with hardly any stamping, The only thing I stamped was the words, and you can use any words that you have, so you really don't even need particular stamp sets for these cards. You need the paper, because the paper does all the work for you. So that's our inside. All right, and then for the words, we're going to stamp Sending Thanks, and we're using Pebble Path. And we're going to just stamp it right in the middle. There we go. And we're done with that. So we don't need that color anymore, or those words. And then I got these two colors. So what I'm going to do, whoops, didn't mean to move that. All right, so I've done some butterflies to go with this. So let's set this aside for a minute. Get out some scrap paper. Let me read your comments real quick. Let me see. Oh, Barbara's speaking German or Dutch or something. I don't know what that says. I think Danke is... I know Danke Shane means something. I can't remember. I know it's from a song. Did I pre-order any of the online exclusives? Oh my gosh, yes, I did. So if you're a demonstrator, we get to order things a month ahead of time. And so they had online exclusives available a couple days ago, and I ordered a ton. There's some gorgeous things coming out online. And I got almost everything. Okay, Deborah says she likes the solid strip. She thinks it steps up the design. Yeah, just use thinner ones and make sure they're long enough. The DSP is so pretty. You don't need anything but the sentiment. Yep. Yep, you can use old DSP. You can use whatever. This is a good way to use DSP because it really, thank you. What does Shane mean? Danke Shane. Thank you so much. I don't know. I speak nothing but English and a little bit of Spanish. I love those colors. Thank you. I want to learn like other languages, but... Oh, Anya's on here. Hey, Anya. Stoop CM. Ardeen. Thank you, guys. Thanks for demonstrating this. It is easier than she thought. Hey, Diane. Yes. Yes, yes, it is easier because I watched like 3 or 4 different people and it was difficult. I was like looking at it thinking, man, that's just too much work. All right, so we're going to be doing some butterflies. So these butterflies are in the Spring Mini. They're with the Lavender Suite. And they come, you get 40 in a pack, which is a ton. Yeah, 40. So you get 8 sheets of these. And you can really sponge either side of them. I don't know if there really is a right or wrong side. Either one works. It depends on which way you want your butterflies to go. So I want my butterflies going mostly that way. I'm only going to use these 2 though. So we're going to do Calypso Coral. And I am going to roll my words in Calypso Coral. I pulled out a brand new Calypso Coral pad. Not brand new, but pretty new. And it was... I had to throw it away. It was just so weird looking. And this is an old one and it still looks great. But I pulled out this new one and it was like all bumpy and just weird looking. I don't know what happened to it, but these are much easier to sponge if you leave them on the piece they come with. So, oops, I don't even need to do that. All right, so you can either pat them or rub them. If you leave them on the sheet, you can rub them pretty easily and they don't really move too much. If you take them out and try to do it, they're gonna crinkle up and get messed up. So I like to just leave them on the sheet to sponge them. The only thing is you're gonna get the ones next to them. So just try and keep them flat. Now, really the paper has this wild wheat color in here, but it looks good on there like gold, but I don't know. I just don't really love that color so much. So I'm using crushed curry and Calypso Coral. So I'm just going to sponge around this and get it how I want it. And these antennae are very, very delicate, so be careful with those. All right, so we got almost all Calypso coral. Then we're going to take our crushed curry and put a little bit of that on there, right in the middle, kind of. Just to give it a pop of yellow. Oops, came out. But you want the Calypso to be the main color. Okay, so then when they pop out, and it really looks pretty where that stencil, like where you're sponging it. So that's what it looks like when you're done. And if you want to make it darker, you can. Doesn't matter. Look how pretty that is. I love that. Maybe, well, let me put this sponge away. Okay, so that's pretty good. So then you've got 3 left to work with for something else. And then we're just gonna put these cards together. I got one bow done. I'm gonna do another one. They look like Butterfly Brilliance. Yes, they do. So glue these 2 together. And we're gonna put the circles on with, and this is 1 3/4 for the white, 2 inches for the Calypso. So I just use circle punches instead of dies, but you could use dies very easily. So we're going to put some dimensionals. On the back. Pop those off. I made some pancakes for breakfast yesterday. They were so good. All right, so we're gonna do this one first because I got this in front of me. All right, so I put this right here. I love blueberries and they were on sale at our Food Lion. This one I'm gonna put on with glue dots. And just take the, where's my take your pick tool? Oh, here it is. Take this little hooky thing. Oops. And just kind of ball it up right there on the butterfly. I really don't like these on the paper instead of on the roll. They're so much easier when they're on the roll. All right, so I use glue dots because the dimensionals are just too big. So we're just gonna kind of put that right off the edge there. And then this can be lifted up like so. All right, and then I've got my bow and we're gonna put that on with the glue dots. They're just so much easier to get when they're actually on this piece instead of the other piece. And I tried re-rolling them like somebody suggested, but that just made a mess and mine kept unrolling. All right, then I do have some gems. These are, I don't even know what they're called. They're from the, I think they're from the Spring Mini. I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive, but I think. And we're gonna put a couple on the butterfly, the pinky ones, because that goes really well with the Calypso coral. And then we're just gonna put one here on the words. And then we're gonna spray all these at the end. So there's that one. And then this one, I've got my words, same thing. So that's that one. And whoops, we're gonna put this one in the same spot. And then we've got, oh, I used a bigger butterfly last time. Oh, well, I thought I used the smaller one, but I used the bigger one on the first one. And put one right here and just kind of roll it up on there. I'm going to stick that right on the edge of that. And it's kind of popped up. If you want to put a little bit of glue under there just to hold it down, you can. I'll just put a teeny bit on here and then stick it down. But if you want it flying up, the only bad thing if you leave it flying up, sometimes it gets caught on things and then it folds the wrong way. And put a couple of these on here. And our bow. So for the bow, I just have a long piece of linen thread and I'm going to cut it in half after I line these two ends up. And oops, tie a bow. And just like you're tying your shoes is what it is like. And then just pull that. You always have to have your fingers on the knot. And that's what keeps it from falling apart. And then we're going to put that down with a glue dot. And I'm going to save all these to spray at the end. And several people asked about the shimmer spray on the last video. So I'll talk about that when I spray these. All right, so there we go. Oops. That one's curling up on me. Okay, so there we go. There's the cards. So I've just got to spray them and then they'll be all nice and shimmery like this one. I don't know if you could see that one. The shimmer on it. It's so pretty. You made the same design using perennial. Oh, Diane. Yeah, that's what gave me the idea to make this card was your card. But when I looked at the videos on how to make it, I was like, that's too much work. So I did one with perennial lavender, and I'm going to do that one in the next video. And that's using 3 cards and 3 different pieces of designer paper. So we're done with those except for spraying. So let me read comments real quick. Let's see. Joan, your husband told you to stop watching videos. You can stop watching everybody but me. I'm just cracking. I'm just kidding. On those bumpy ink pads, you can rinse out all the color, then re-ink. Oh, yeah, that's too much work. I tried re-inking it, and it still was like bumpy though. But I didn't rinse it all the way out. But it's really messed up. I don't think that would even fix it. Margaret, this card is so easy. Thank you. Is what it means. Love the cards. Oh, I saw read that. Tell that voice to take a hike. Thank you, Reva. No, Carol, no date. That's a long story. I got tired of waiting for him because he was, why is my, oh, because it's got glue. I'm like, why is my mouse sticking right there? Because I got glue on this piece of paper. I seem to collect supplies and just order new products from the online exclusives. I know. It's like we keep coming out with new stuff and I keep ordering new stuff and I haven't used the old stuff yet. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Next 2 cards, we're going to do these 2. So let's move this out of the way. So here's what you need for these 2. So I decided to use different paper. So we've got one with boho, one with fresh freesia. Because this one just had too much blue, so I didn't want to do blue for the background. So we've got one of each. We need 4 pieces of the white again, 2 for the front, 2 for the inside. We've got our 2 pieces of designer paper. So there's that. I'm running out of room. Let me put that up there. And then we've got, I wrote this all on one piece of paper. Okay, so we've got our circles. Those are 2 3/8. And designer paper I haven't cut out yet, so I'm going to do that for you. Then we've got some little pieces of white for the words and some strips for the inside. And then this is a little strip I'm going to do for this piece right here. So it's just an extra strip. So I just wrote all that on one piece. So I've got this strip of designer paper. So take a screenshot of that. And then we'll get started. So I've got my punch, and we need the 2 1/4. So this is a 2 1/4 punch. If you don't have the 2 1/4 punch, you can get 2 dies to work, but you want to punch out the butterfly, the bird. So just put it in there where you want it and punch it. So there's one. And then, so you can get 6 full ones, I think, out of a sheet, but then there's also these half ones over here. You really can't get like the whole bird in there, but you can kind of do like part of him if you want, but I don't know, that's up to you. So I did get some that had more of the bird, but this one over this side, you got most of it. So you can get several. See, this was the other one. So this one right here, if you do that, you get most of the bird right on the edge there, like that. So you can use that one. So I would say 3, 6, 9. Yeah, about 9 from one piece of designer paper. Okay, so that was 2 1/4. The outside piece with the blue is the 2 3/8. So that's our circles. So now we've got all those. And let me take all this away. All right, so we don't need that. We're going to cut that. And we don't need all that right now. Okay, so I'm going to start with the easy one. So again, we need our paper cutter. We're going to do the exact same thing. And this is why I did 2 sets, so you'd really know what I'm doing. So I've got both pieces. Put them together. We're going to put it in. So we want to do left to right. So about a knuckle down is about 3/4 of an inch or so. So about a knuckle down to about halfway on the other side. So there we go. Let me see, get it both lined up. Okay. All right, so there's our first cut. So that was about a knuckle to about halfway. Now we got this left, so we're gonna go down just a teeny bit more, like 1/4 of an inch, to the bottom. So about a knuckle over. So just about one knuckle is about 3/4 to an inch, depending on how big your fingers are. So just a little teeny bit here, and then we're going to the bottom right there. So, whoops, almost went the wrong way. So we're on the left to the bottom. And there we go. All right, so now we've got the pieces done. So for most people, I think the cutting is the hardest part, but really if you do it this way, it's just easy. So we've got that one, and then, whoops, wait a minute. Hold the phone, wrong one. There we go. Okay, so there's one card, and then here is the other card. So put them together. So now you've got your 2 cards. We just have to glue these to our white pieces, like that. And I didn't do any layering or anything with this part, like I did on the last one. That was too confusing. Oops. Line it right up to the edge. I almost messed up there. Did you see that? Y'all didn't see that, did you? You blinked and didn't see it. And your bird should be up, not upside down. So if your birds are upside down, you got the wrong piece here. All right, so there we go. See how easy that comes together if you don't do the little border piece. But if you want the border piece, that's totally fine. All right, so there's one. And then we're gonna take another piece and do this one. I got glue on this paper right here. It's driving me crazy. I need my little adhesive remover. Or I could just rip off the sheet, but then I've got this glued to it. I was watching this one girl do the video and I'm like, dang, by the time you do all that, I'd be too tired to make a card. And she made a template and I was like, that's just too much work. I mean, I do make templates for some things, but I was like, I'm not even gonna measure. I'm just gonna wing it and see how it comes out. Okay. There we go. All right, so there's our two cards, and then we're just gonna layer that on our two pieces. So I did, for this one, I did the blue, and then this one, I did the purple, like that. So this one's gonna go straight down on here. And I already did the inside of this by accident because I was gonna put the purple one on this one, and then I was like, no, I just don't like that. It's too much blue. This one I'm wrapping the ribbon around the outside first. So, oops, let me cut this off. So we're gonna wrap this around. And put it on the left, or no, the right side. Sorry, I'm upside down. So we're just gonna put it about right here. You can always lift it up if you want to. I'm all thumbs today. I don't know why. I'm not wide awake yet. Okay, so there we go. And then trim that down. I did watch a good movie yesterday. So I started cutting the card kits for the people that ordered in the last couple weeks. So I was doing the card kit. So whenever I do card kits, I always try to watch a movie, you know, just while I'm sitting there cutting paper and stuff. And, oh, I posted it on Facebook. Now I can't remember what the name of it was. Oh, I don't want to glue this down yet. Hold on. All right, so we've got these two pieces and our circles. So let's glue these down. It was it a Hallmark movie? I think it was a Hallmark movie. Anyway, I posted it on my Facebook page because now I can't remember the name of it. This can drive me crazy. And then I watched another one too. I watched a couple good ones. One on Netflix. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Okay, so we've got this, which I want to come over. Now, I already have this cut from my other one. But what I did was I took a piece like this and I took my scissors and I just went boom right there on the cut and made a mark and cut it. So I'm gonna put that like here and have that underneath my words. So let me do the words real quick. So I have this piece, which is the 2.5. No, it's not, it's the 3. This one goes with the other one. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stamp this in blue, and this is boho blue. And we're gonna do it all the way to the left. And then we're gonna trim it. And then we're going to do this one right in the center. Okay, so there's those. I'm going to let them dry for 1 second. This is a juicy, juicy pad. All right, so we're going to dip this one like that. And that goes on that one. Now, this is the one that I did on here, and I took it. So I said, okay, I want to cut it about right there. So I took the scissors right in that little groove where the paper meets, and it made a mark, and then I cut it. And so then I'm going to dip this, and you could use your paper cutter to do that too, or you don't have to be fancy like this. So then I put that here, and I put this piece underneath like this. So I'm going to do that first. So I want that like right about there. And I'm going to trim it off the edge in a second. And then I want this one right to the edge and a little bit over. And oh, I did put it? Yeah, I did put it on with dimensional. So let me find them. I made these last night, and I was on a roll, and I was like, I'm thinking about doing a bunch of these, but then I thought, no, the video would be too long because we're almost at an hour now. So I figured I would just make 2 sets, and I'll save the, I did one with 3 different patterns, and I'll do those on Tuesday. All right, so we're just going to cut this piece off. So there you go. So you just have that little pop of color under there with the, and that ties into your paper like that. So now we'll put it down. Because I put it down, I was like, it needs something. So I just grabbed this little scrap was sitting there on the table. And I said, oh, I'm just going to stick that under there. And on the first card, it was an afterthought, so that's why more of it shows on the first one. Oh yeah, don't forget to do thumbs up. I know, I am ready for spring. If I put the birds on upside down, I would turn the paper no way. Yeah. I guess you could do one that way, and it would still look the same if the birds were going the other way. All right, so we've got 2 birds. They look exactly the same. So we're going to put one. Oh, that's so funny. My other cards, the birds are going the other way. I guess they go opposite directions. I didn't even notice that. Okay. Wow. That's funny. I did not even notice that when I did the... They must have each row goes a different direction. So, good tip there. If you want them going a certain way, use a different row. Huh. I must have grabbed the ones that were going the other way. Not noticed. Okay, so just put that. We're going to cover up his head right there because I don't want... There we go. All right, so there's that one. Oh, and I got gems. Let me do some gems. So we're going to put a big one here and a couple little ones. Let's do one here and one on the blue. All right, and then we're going to spray all these in just a minute. All right, so here is the one. Oh, and then I forgot to do the inside. Okay. So we'll get this and one of these. And I already did the inside of the other one by accident. You actually could use either side of this because they're both pretty. You can put it right on the bottom if you want. I like to put just a little bit of white there between the edges. So it's not totally on the bottom. And then stick that inside. So you could really mass produce a bunch of these cards. And if you want to make them birthday cards or whatever you want, just find some words that are similar to that size to do that. Have a runaway gem. Okay, so for this one, we're going to put our bird flat. So we're going to have our bird flat because I'm popping up the words on top of it. So we're going to put it about right here. It'll be right next to that bird. And then we're going to pop up this words right here with dimensionals. What? I keep losing my dimensionals. And put just like 3 on here. Okay. And then, whoops, runaway dimensional backing. And put that on like maybe a little bit higher. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to put some gems, and then we're going to do the bow. So the bow is a little bit tricky, but it's not super hard, especially if you have the tweezers. It's much easier than how I'm going to do it. All right, so there's our gems. All right, so here is how you do this bow. I have one extra just in case I can't master it again. I did a spare one. And move my glue away. Okay, so what I did was I took a whole bunch of this ribbon and I cut it in half up the middle. And let me see, do we have any comments? Oh, love the tips. Thanks, Diana. Pretty cards. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you, Anya. The movie you posted. See You on Venus. Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I think it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, I think. See You on Venus. Oh, it was so good. I posted the trailer on Facebook, but it's on Netflix, and it's about this girl and this guy. It's kind of like, you know, teenage love, but it's got such a good story to it. And oh, so good. All right, so now we've got 2 strips. So we're going to make a loop, and I'm not going to tie it because I tried tying it. It was too bulky. So I made loops like this. Just make a loop, and then make another loop back. Well, you can do it like this, but I don't want to do it like that. I want to do it so it's coming back this way. Okay. And then pinch it. So like that. But mine was bigger. Let me do them again. I want bigger loops. Okay. So do a loop. And then a loop. And you really want to make the loops come back this way instead of so that they just kind of crisscross over each other. And then trim that and separate this. Okay, so now you've got this, and it's just pinched together. It's not tied or anything. So there's my piece. So what I did was I took a piece of scrap that I had, just a little piece of scrap. I put some tape on it, and then I cut a little piece of this ribbon, and I just taped it down there. So what I'm going to do is put this down, and I could put another piece of tape, but I'm going to try and hold it and see if I can do this with my fingers and get it not to move. If you have those tweezers, it's much easier, but I have to look for mine. So, okay, and then just pull it really tight and then tie it again. Okay. So then you have more of a wispy bow, because if you try to tie it in a knot like I did the linen thread, it just gets real bulky in the middle and it doesn't make the nice loops. So pull these apart. So then you get a better look there. It's stuck to that. Okay. So there we go. So now we have this kind of wispier bow. And we're going to put that on here with a glue dot like that. Trust me, those tweezers make a big difference, but I don't know where mine went. So we'll have to find them. All right, so now we're going to do some shimmer spray on all of these. So if you were asking about the shimmer spray, so what it is 70% alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So make sure you get the 70% kind. Fill it about this far up to the top. And then if you look in the comments section below the video, there's links to different places. I like the one place that's like, I want to say lollipops, but it's not lollipops. It's something like that, that they have it for $5. It's this shimmer paint, and it's called Champagne Mist shimmer paint. And you just take this, shake it up, and you put just a little bit, like 1 second worth in there to shake it up. And it gives you this gorgeous shimmer on all of your cards. And I'll hold them up so you can see in just a second. Oh, that one I already did. And that one I did. Okay, so here you go, all the cards from today. So we have lots and lots. Don't you love it? Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. All right, so there we go. So don't forget, if you want to order, here's the information. That's the host code, and you just go to my website, stampingwithlisa.com. I've got a joke for you, so don't go yet. Hold on. Let me clean up my space real quick. Okay, and don't forget there's new celebration stuff on here. Let me finish reading these. Like the card layout, how to use some of my DSP supply. Yep. We have 3 bird feeders, so cardinals, blue jays, skunk. I don't see too many birds this time of the year in my yard. In the summer, I have 1 billion. Queen Bee on Netflix. I'm gonna have to look at that one. Thank you, Joan. Not good at remembering how to add a bow. Oh, not good at remembering to add a bow. Beautiful bow. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I was trying to be like Tammy Wilson. She makes the most gorgeous bows I've ever seen. 2 jokes. Oh, yeah, that's right. I owe you 2 jokes. I've got 2 jokes for you. Hold on. These are short and sweet. After retiring, I went to the Social Security office to apply. The woman behind the counter asked me for my driver's license to verify my age. I looked in my pockets and realized I had left my wallet at home. I told the woman that I was very, very sorry, but I would have to go home and come back later. The woman said, "Unbutton your shirt." So I opened my shirt, revealing my curly silver hair. She said, "That silver hair on your chest is proof enough for me." So she processed my Social Security application. When I got home, I excitedly told my wife about my experience at the Social Security office. She said, "You should have dropped your pants. You might have gotten disability too." And that's when the fight started. All right, this is a bunch of them like that. Number 2, my wife and I were sitting at the table at my high school reunion, and I kept staring at a drunken lady swigging her drink as she sat alone at a nearby table. My wife asked, "Do you know her?" "Yes," I sighed. "She's my old girlfriend. I understand she took to drinking right after we split up those many years ago, and I hear she hasn't been sober since." "My God," says my wife. "Who would think that a person could go on celebrating that long?" And that's when the fight started. I got 3. Okay, we're doing a 3 tonight. I took my wife to a restaurant. The waiter, for some reason, took my order first. "I'll have the strip steak, medium rare, please." He said, "Aren't you worried about the mad cow?" "Nah, she can order for herself." And that's when the fight started. There's a whole sheet of these. These are so funny. Oh, Sharon LaCroix sent me these. They're so funny. So I'm going to save the rest for another day, but I think they're hysterical. And I have got a few cards to give away. I still have one. Actually, yeah, one from last time. Judith Tanner. So you won this one. You're the only one that hasn't claimed those cards. And then I've got some more to give away. So If you hear your name called, make sure you send me your address. Let me get these out of the way. To stampgirl2@cox.net. And let me get the winners for today. Okay, so that's the address. So here's the first card. I'm making up all these old kits that I had before, so some of these are old. All right, winner for this one is, let me see. Oh, thank you guys. You like the jokes. All right, let's pick some winners. Renee, I just put your card in the mail today. Let me see. Who has not won one lately or ever? Husband loved your jokes too. Thanks, Kathy. Let's see. I think Anya hasn't won one in a while. Anya, we'll send you one. All right, so Anya wins that one. I've got a Valentine's card. Who has a man you want to give a Valentine's to? Let's see. Joan. Joan, I just thought you won one recently. Maybe not. I could have sworn you just won one, though. Ursula. I don't think Ursula's won one. Ursula W. You can have the Valentine's card. All right, now we've got a couple from the kit. Well, just one from the kit. So this is the kit that I did the other day. Let's see. How about Elaine Schneider? S-C-H, whoops. S-C-H-N-E-I-D-R. There you go. All right, I got two more. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Diane. Diane, you don't have your last name on there, so how are we going to know it's you? Sweet Sarah. Okay, Sweet Sarah. Sweet Sarah. So you win this one, and then I've got one more. All right, Diane will pick you, but I'm not going to know how it's you. We'll just say Diane with no last name. So I don't know how we're going to know that that's you that won, because anybody named Diane could email me. All right, you guys, that's the winners for today. And don't forget, send me an email, stampgirl2@cox.net. And Judith, I've also got yours. Haven't heard from you yet. All right, so there you go. Oh, Virginia Elliott. We'll write your name down for next time. Make sure you guys are commenting too. All right, so Virginia, I've got yours next time. Elliott. Okay. All right, thanks you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And it's beautiful here. I hope you guys are having some nice weather too. And there should be a number after my name. Nope, Diane, it just says Diane, nothing else. All right, you guys, take care and try out some of those cards that I showed you today. Hopefully you can make some too with paper you've got. But if you want to order, don't forget you can order from me if you're not a demonstrator already. And I'll be back on Tuesday with another version of this card, but we're going to have 3 patterns instead of 2. So we'll have kind of the same cuts. We're going to do 3 different patterns, and they're just as easy. So we'll make 3 cards with the lavender set. So I will see you back on Tuesday. Y'all have a great day, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye.